10 things you need to know as a beginner artist. Number 1, you need to take the time to learn how to sketch, because if you don't know how to sketch, it's the basic foundation you need for your art. And to be able to draw lightly to darkly, to explain and to express what needs to be lined or rendered or colored will really help you in the long run. I remember when I first started to try and sketch in college, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of tough, because you just want to lay your pen on the paper and get it done, but you're drawing too darkly, so you can't get a lot of detail in it because you're not working from light to dark. So I recommend taking the time to learn how to sketch and just look at some other people's sketches and see how they're doing it, and see if you can kind of like replicate it in your own way, where you're sketching your own way and your own characters in a similar fashion, because sketching is so pivotal. It's the best foundation you can have for a drawing, because if it's too dark and you can't figure out what's going on in your own drawing, then you're not going to be able to make your art properly. Number 2, learn anatomy. It's easier to make your style if you know how to break down the human body. If you don't know how to draw the human body, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect, like drawing surgical like versions of the human body to the point where you're like amazing at the point of you can just draw the whole body like it's in the picture of a medical book. I'm not saying that, but you can, of course. That's totally up to you. If you can, that's amazing, but you don't have to. You just have to know and understand the body, how it forms together. You may not have to know the muscles that are working in the body, but it would be awesome if you could. But if you don't, because I don't, let's be honest, you need to just know how it looks. You got to know how the anatomy looks. Like if you're going to draw a guy, and let's say you're going to draw his abs, and you know that men have a certain amount of abs they can have. Don't draw like 20 abs on the guy. And even there's a break between the abs of like their belly button. So if you know that, then the next time you draw a character with abs, it'll look more correct. It'll look more, on point. If you understand how the body looks and works majority of the time, you'll be able to put a body together in your sketches that actually look correct. And not only that, when you are able to put the body of your character together, you'll be able to change the proportions of it, because you understand how the body works. If you know how the body works and you can see how the body works, and you can draw it out, then now you can be like, okay, well now I want to draw him shorter. Okay, well now I want to draw him like Mickey Mouse. Like I promise you, as soon as I learned how to draw anatomy correctly, or at least drew a lot of anatomy pieces, not to the point where I'm drawing muscle, of course, but sketching the human body, I actually learned how to break down styles faster. I learned how to draw styles faster, and I knew how to draw how tall the figure was quicker. It's really about practice. Number 3, color theory is your best friend. Color theory is the number one thing you could be learning right now if you are a beginner artist. Color is kind of hard to learn because we kind of just get thrown into it, and we only learn the color sides of the wheel, but never really how to use it. So it's your job to figure out how you want to use it. I remember when I was in college and they did yellow and red is orange and white and red is pink, but they don't tell you how to use it. That's real color theory after you learn the basics. So to learn color theory is you got to get in there. You got to start experimenting with color, checking your saturations and your hues and how you're using it together to make a harmonious piece. Color theory can make or break a piece. It could make it look good or absolutely insane. And I'll probably put 2 images up of my art from Rayman, which I'll probably upload a video of me like drawing it one of these days, where you see I'm drawing Rayman, or one picture of Rayman, I'm using the actual color palette that's in the game. While you see the second color palette, I tried hypercolorization, which is using tons of colors, and you can see the difference between the 2 pieces. One is like super grayed out and stylized in a way where he's, based off his game counterpart, and one I just decided to just go crazy with color because 1, I love Rayman, and 2, I think it will be super, super dope to just see him colorized, especially when he's not like, a huge character right now. Well, he is a huge character, but like, he's not that big right now, and I want to be bigger, so hopefully he gets a game or something in the future. Anyway, Number 4, practice, 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 day and night. Like, if anything, I can tell you what I learned from going to college. They had us drawing day to night. They had us going through classes from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. or worse. On the first day there, I couldn't believe I was in classes that long, and they were all like art classes and learning about art and like learning about filmmaking. So art classes would be like 3 hours, animation classes be 3 hours, art fundamentals and color design and stuff like that, 3 hours. And if you took an illustration class, 6 hours. What does this tell you? What am I trying to tell you? Practice. Practice. There's this saying that, or this story, that if you had 100 students on each side, you gave 100 students one project to finish at the end of the semester, and you gave the other 100 students, let's say 10 projects each week, and they total up to 100 to the end of the year. They said that the person who, the class that did all the work, the tons of drawings, the tons of work, did far better than the class that just had one piece to do throughout the whole year. If you keep practicing, if you keep making art, you will get better. So just keep going. Just keep going. Number 5, study from life. So either you want to draw in public or draw live nude models. There are many places, I'm sure, if you just check in your own area, if you can draw live nude models, or just go to like your favorite space, like a coffee shop, or like when I was a college student, I would go into the neighboring college, Wayne State, and go in their basement where they had video gamers like me. I'm a gamer too, and I would just draw them like playing video games. I would just draw them for hours. It was fun. They were a vibe. They were nice people. So if you have access to those resources, or you can just go randomly to places to draw people like that, you can do that. If you can't find live models and you are of college age and you would like to draw live models, there is a website called Postspace where you can go there and find where you can go there and draw nude models. And I think it's free, but you can still like buy stuff or something. Like it's really up to you, I think, if you want to buy it, but you can support or not. If you're not of age to go draw live models, then you need to just go to maybe your favorite place and draw like people walking, or draw your family, or go to a party. Like, I don't know, if you have a party coming up and you just like, oh, I'm gonna draw everybody, draw them there. If you're in class, draw your teacher, draw the people next to you at their desks or whatever. Just draw from life, because if you draw from life, you're gonna keep succeeding, because now you understand life. Number 6, start digital art early if that's what you're interested in, because digital art is a hell of a big curveball. And so I feel like if you really want to grow as an artist and digital is your passion, or would like to become your passion, you have to go put some skin in the game. So go buy a little tablet and just start sketching. Get to know the program you're in, get to know the actual tablet you're using, the pen pressures you're using, and just test everything out. Test a little, like, if this is going to be your program, whatever it is, like let's say Photoshop is going to be your program, look at the key bindings and look at the shortcuts, because you're going to waste a lot of time trying to go click the little paintbrush tool or the bucket tool. Just know what those tools are. So like in Photoshop, the brush tool is B and the bucket tool is G, right? So if you understand the little keybinds and you understand the actual programs and your tablet, you're going to be in a great space for when you actually have to do digital art, because right now you're testing it before you have to. So test it now, you get it under your belt, because by the time that you need to do it, you're going to be a rock star. Number 7, learning and studying from one artist or one source will make your art suffer. Please, please, please make sure you get a lot of diversity under your belt with art study. Like, you don't want to just study from one specific artist. Please study from many artists. You don't want to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna draw like one person or draw like this anime character. You're gonna just be drawing one specific way and you're gonna feel confined to that one specific style. So just add a little diversity with how you like draw and like who you're learning from. Like for me, like, oh yeah, I loved anime back in the day. I still enjoy anime occasionally. But at one point in my life, like I was so obsessed with anime as a young college student that some guy at my college said, hey. And I was like, hey. And he was this random guy who was a part of the group of like the cool people, I guess, in college, that all the people around him, they didn't really like the cool people because they kind of were mean to everyone. But, you know, this guy was really nice to me, at least. And he walked up to me and he was like, hey. I was like, hey. He was like, if you want to get better, stop drawing anime. I was like, what? I love anime. How dare you? But then I was like, dang, maybe he's right. I was confining myself to one style of anime and I was suffering. Trying to draw animations and trying to draw in the style of anime, and I was suffering at the time. You could see it on my face. I was like suffering. So I feel like I decided to just stop watching anime back then because I felt like, dang, I need to get this out of my system to figure out what else should I be studying. After I got, acquainted with leaving anime alone and leaving it behind for a while, I started looking at like cartoons and animation and other artists like Aaron Blaze and some other artists I can't remember, of course. But like literally I started going into the idea of like rubber hose animation and cartoons and other things, and that kind of made my style diverse and also loosened me up a lot because I didn't just confine myself to one specific style. And once I listened to his instructions, when I let go of anime, my art started thriving so hard and so well. So I really appreciate that guy. So I have to tell you guys the same thing. I don't know if I will tell you stop drawing anime because I don't know you like that, and I don't know how that's making you progress. But don't confine yourself to one specific style. Get diverse, get different, go look at other stuff. You don't have to just draw one specific type of thing, because when you do that, you will suffer like I did. And I'm so blessed that man came into my life and said, stop drawing anime. And it really changed my life for the better. So shout out to him. You're a real one. Thank you. Number 8, don't get complacent in your study. Challenge yourself to grow. Be okay with testing out different styles and don't let yourself fall into same face syndrome. So similarly to number 7, but this is for when you actually figure out your style. Be comfortable with just experimentation within that style. Don't confine yourself to just one specific part of that style and never grow past it. Because a lot of times we see, oh, this formula works. And then we keep trying the same formula over and over and over again. And then you look at your portfolio and it's just same face syndrome. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. So just start growing in that style. Once you figure out your style, if you have a style, because for me personally, I know I don't have a specific style, and I kind of came to terms with that in college and moved on and just was like, I'm living my life. I want to draw whatever I want. But if you have a specific style that you really like, go into the style that you like and start exploring it in depthly. Don't just start drawing one specific style of like face and then never differentiating from it, because that's how you get same face syndrome, where you're constantly like drawing the same face on a different character and they all just look like the same person but just different hair or different clothing. So just don't do that. Don't get complacent. Start challenging yourself. Draw different poses. That's another thing. You're gonna draw the same pose where it's like constantly shoulders up kind of portrait. Start testing out different poses. Start putting in some work to draw some dynamic poses. Offset the shoulders to the hips, make it dynamic, make it fun. Just keep challenging yourself, because when you don't challenge yourself, you get complacent and then you start wondering why you're not growing. Don't get complacent, just keep going. Number 9, to be good, you must be okay with being bad first. Yeah, that's the number one thing. If you are going to beat yourself up about not being a good artist, don't do that. You are still learning, and it's okay to be bad at first. You can't be perfect. You can't just fly out of your womb at childbirth and be like, dang, I'm amazing at this. Like, maybe some people got that, but if you didn't, that's okay. No one needs to be perfect. Just start now. It's okay to be bad. It's okay to be bad at first. Because if you are allowing yourself to be bad at first, you're going to be one day amazingly good at what you do. So don't be hard on yourself. Be okay with the bad. Be okay with the crooked to the straights that comes with art design and just figuring yourself out. Just do what you can at the moment. Just do it. Just have fun, you know. Number 10. Perfection is a lie and is the death of creativity. The more you focus on trying to be perfect, or the more you try and just draw one eye super perfectly and then go to the next eye and you feel like you didn't do it perfectly, the more you're going to not be able to keep growing because you're constantly hyper focusing on trying to be perfect. And there's no such thing as perfect in this world. Everything is imperfect. Everything has its flaws. Everything is just out there existing, right? No matter if it's a person or a stuffed animal, I don't know. There's no perfection. There's always something that's imperfect about us as humans, or whatever we create, like a blanket or something, or a hat, you know? I think at the end of the day, you have to realize that perfection is such a lie in this society that we'd rather want to be perfect than to actually put out work that we may not like or may just feel like isn't good enough. And because we don't put that work out, nothing happens. No one grows, and we end up stagnant because we believe in the perfectionist in us. That is clearly a lie. There's nothing perfect about this world. You go outside, you're gonna find, I don't know, maybe a bunch of snow on the ground, or maybe you're gonna find a tree that's half chopped down, or maybe a tree that's leaning or something. Those trees ain't perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfection. So if you go out looking for perfection, you won't find it. So don't go looking for it in yourself, because you're not gonna find it. Be kind to yourself. And I think that's the most important thing you can do right now. If you focus on perfection, if you focus on trying to be something that is inherently, I don't know, inhuman. Perfection is kind of inhuman, but I don't know if that's okay to say. If you try to focus on doing things that are so unorthodoxly perfect, you won't get anywhere. Imagine if the Mona Lisa was created and the guy was like, you know what, I'm just gonna draw the head. The head is perfect and I don't want to mess it up because the head is so perfect. Because he wanted the head to be so perfect, now it's dang, he don't want to do the rest. Could you imagine if you think about it? Or Van Gogh. If you think of Van Gogh and you see his art, first of all, his art is three-dimensional. I have to do a video on that. Oh my god, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. If you think about Van Gogh and his art isn't inherently super smooth and super perfect. It's very beautiful, gorgeous, but it also has its own texture, if I can explain it well, and I'll do a video on that. It's literally its own, its own place. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. It has its own imperfections, and those imperfections in his art pieces make him look amazing. That's the thing. So embrace your imperfections. Embrace them. They are what makes you you. To be perfect is to be a machine, and we are not of cold, hard machinery. We are of warm blood and flesh. Act like it. You are perfectly imperfect as you are. You get it? You are imperfectly perfect as you are. You get it? My point is, you are fine as an imperfect being. We are all imperfect, okay? And that imperfection is what makes you you, and it's a beautiful thing. So don't be like, I need to be perfect. You don't. Calm down, pick up a sketchbook, and draw. If it's the best sketch in the world, great, post it. If it's the worst sketch in the world, great, post it. Just be you. Just be you. And I truly mean it. When I first started my Instagram account, I was too scared to post anything because I was worried about perfection. I decided to draw so many ugly little doodles and post them. And immediately when I posted them, I felt comfortable with posting actually real good art that actually look like I put some real good time in it, and not just like I doodled this for 10 seconds. No, I actually put a lot of time in this. I actually put a lot of time on each little piece of this, and now I feel comfortable with posting it. So just have fun. That's the last thing I have to say. Have fun and just do the best you can. Your art will speak for itself. You are fine to be who you are. Just be yourself and have fun. Alright. If you like this video, hit a like. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want more videos like this, as well as more videos in the future. And, you know, let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have for me. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.